What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and you check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to react to Rob Parker's statements about he reacted to Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley said that Jalen Bronson would be the greatest free agent signing in NBA history, right? And Rob Parker disagreed with that. But I have to say that I'm not really mad at Charles Barkley, his take on that, right? Because I listened to Charles Barkley's statement and I've listened to Rob Parker's argument against that, right? And I got to say that, I'm not mad at Charles Barkley. The argument that Rob Parker brings to counter what Charles Barkley said, I really disagree with, right? And I was thinking about all the free agent signings that I could recall, and I don't think the reason why I don't think there was any bigger is because this was unexpected, right? When the Knicks got Jalen Brunson, remember Jalen Brunson he played in Dallas with Luka, and you know, he was a really good basketball player there, and they had some success, right? But the Mavericks was not really all that, they didn't really care or really want to sign him or give him the money that he wanted, right? So New York offered him a better deal, and so he decided to go. And when he got to New York, nobody really thought that he would have the type of success that he's having now. They thought that, like what they was going to do is just build. He was going to be part of, them just building onto what he bring. They didn't think he was going to be more so a leader as much as he would be probably like one more piece to, one more spoke in the wheel. And so to me, I like that because he kind of, like I said, he came out of nowhere with this. I didn't expect him to have this much success. And so let's listen to what Rob Parker and the guys from the Art Couple had to say, and then I'm gonna add my input.
Rob G, Charles Barkley had something really interesting to say about Jalen Brunson.
That's right. We're counting down tip-off of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Knicks up 1-0 here in San Antonio in this NBA Finals. And Charles Barkley, friend of the show, friend of the program, was on PTI earlier this week with Michael Wilbon, Tony Corners, and more friends of the program. We love all those guys.
Absolutely. I know everybody.
And even though Rob's on the Wemby train, and rightfully so, there's a lot of people right now jumping on the Jalen Brunson bandwagon, including our friend the Chuckster, who had some very high praise for the diminutive point guard.
Including me.
Listen, I said this a few years ago, I think Brunson might turn out to be the greatest free agent signing. I'm not talking about LeBron and Kevin Durant and guys like that, but I think Brunson, if he's able to deliver a championship to New York, it'll be the greatest free agent signing in NBA history. There's nobody knew he was going to be this good. I didn't. You guys, nobody. No. When New York signed him, they didn't think he was going to be this good. He's turned them into a perennial contender. They went from never being talked about to the conference finals last year. Now they're in the finals because of Brunson. So if he's able to finish this journey, Mike, it would be the greatest free agent sign in NBA history.
I think, Keith,
and I agree, right? Because when you think about Kevin Durant and LeBron James, people were like, they were expecting big things from both of those guys, Kevin Durant and LeBron James, too. Like whenever they go somewhere, people expect those guys to deliver. Nobody even thought about, Brunson delivering and putting this team in a position that they are in now. Now, they're up 2-0. And they get ready to play Game 3 Monday night. But nobody expected this. This is like, and then when you take into account, New York hasn't won a championship since the early 30s. I mean, the early 70s, right? So if he do that's bigger than what LeBron did. That's bigger than what Kevin Durant did and Golden State. So it's bigger. But let me hear what Rob Parker got to say.
Can go first, and I think he even had to stop himself because there's some big free agents who have done way more than Brunson. I get it about the caliber compared to the other guys, but Keith, what's your take on Barkley in this?
Yeah, first off, job not finished, job finished, job not finished. They still have to go out and win the finals. Okay, I understand.
I agree with that. I
understand Charles has to, have some hot takes. He has to.
No, and I agree with that, right? Charles Brunson do have to go out and win the finals. I'm saying if Brunson win the finals, this is bigger than what Kevin Durant did in Golden State because that was expected. And he was on a loaded team. This is bigger than what LeBron did in Miami because that was expected. And he was on a loaded team. They was talking about running up 4, 5, and 6 championships, right? So if anything, LeBron underachieved. I always got to throw LeBron knock in there.
Have a hyperbolic take, like something like that. He's got to say something like that with his chest. I'll say this, though. For the New York Knicks, it's already set in stone. NBA all-time, it's tough to say. I guess, I didn't like the part where he said not talking about LeBron and KD. Why not?
Right.
Right? They won championships joining the team.
That's what I said. I'm including, in my opinion, I'm including LeBron and Kevin Durant.
That they joined, but I guess it's because it felt like they joined super teams, right? They joined a team that already had stars. This Knicks team didn't have stars when Brunson came here. The credit goes to Leon Rose. It also goes to Rick Brunson. Leon Rose was an agent with CAA. Rick Brunson was one of his clients. They are close, like family friends. And when they took a chance to bring Jalen here, Knicks fans, right at WFAN, I remember doing shows and talking. People thought it was a mid move. They thought that they were like they didn't understand why they were doing it. They're like, this is typical Knicks. These guys don't know what they're doing. Why are they doing this? And the Knicks never have a point guard. They finally found their point guard. And look where they are today. And look at how polished this dude is, how much of a lion this dude is. Nobody knew that, but you know who knew it? Leon Rose, Rick Brunson, and James Dolan, who hired Leon Rose to do the job. So I think for the Knicks, it's set in stone. And I think you can mention it with LeBron and with KD, even more so because he did not join superstars like Steph Curry or Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, they started to add around him. They went out and added Cat, OG Anunoby, Bridges. They added guys around. Even had to go add Josh Hart. They added to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, because once the Knicks seen what they had in Jalen Brunson, they was like, oh, we can build around him. Because remember, who were they had at first? What was the guy? Julius Randle, right? And everybody was thinking that Julius Randle was going to be that dude. But it turned out to be Brunson. So they Brunson, nobody expected Brunson to be able to do this.
You can make that claim in the NBA, and I get it. The Knicks haven't won since Moby Dick was a guppy. So I get the reason why Barkley would even say that, because it would be monumental. They haven't won since the 70s. You know what I mean? Yes, they went to the finals before in 94. They won in 99. I get that. But it's been since the 70s that they actually won a championship. So it would be huge. But when you look at LeBron going to Miami and then, going to 4 straight NBA finals, right? Winning 2 championships, KD by himself elevated what you think about the Warriors.
No.
Right? As good as Steph and
the Warriors had a championship before KD got there. That's wrong. Dwayne Wade had a championship before LeBron got there. Where the championship for the Knicks? Who has the Knicks championship? What is he talking about?
Clay and Draymond, they choked down a 3-1 lead. What happened when KD got there? They became unbeatable. So you can't poo-poo KD.
They had as a matter of fact, they won a championship before KD, and they won a championship after he left. What is Rob Parker talking about?
These presence and what he was able to do with Golden State. They begged him to come, Keith. Why did they beg him to come? They just choked down a 3-1 lead, the first team in NBA history to give up a 3-1 lead in the finals, right?
They needed him so much. that when he was ready to leave, what Draymond called him a B and told him we don't need you. He told him we won without you. We won without you. And then they turn around and win again without him. So, and I can see if Kevin Durant goes to Golden State, they haven't won anything. Then he get there, they win 2, you know, and then when he leave, they don't win anything without him. That's a different story right there, right? But that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. I don't know what Rob Parker talking about. You know, what is he thinking about?
So
yeah, I think when you think about it, though, it's just because like we all knew it was game, set, match. Remember back then they were calling KD a cupcake. It wasn't that type of thing. I think a lot is to be said about how you enter and, kind of under promise and overperform for Jalen Brunson.
What we left out one other guy and Shaq and the Shaq factor, right?
But he was joining Kobe.
Okay, but they went and got him for a reason. And when he got there, they became a juggernaut. They won 3 in a row, and they went. What did they go, Rob? 4 out of
5? This right here is just no. They don't even who is. Shaq went and played with Kobe. Kevin Durant went to play with Steph Curry. LeBron James went to go play with Dwayne Wade. Who did this guy go play with that's on any of those guys' level? And he talking about a team that haven't won since the 70s. Who has he played with? Who did they have in New York? They was like, oh, we got Brunson. We're going to add him to Julius Randle. We're going to team him up with Julius Randle. We're going to team him up with Hart and Bridges. None of those guys compared to Dwayne Wade, Steph Curry, or Kobe Bryant or Shaq. None of those guys on New York compared to those guys. I don't get I don't get this, man. This signing right here is big. So that's my take on it, man. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.